Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. They come. So we are in Amrutanubhava, chapter 7, Ignorance Denied, and we are doing the 175th OV. Teya Drishya Drashtabhare Drashte Pana Drushyai Sare Mazi Donhi na Honi Ure Donhi Tse Saya Satsa. There the scene has entered the seer has disappeared in the scene. What remains thereafter is none of them but the essence of them. Whenever we have a desire, for example, whenever there is a desire, there is a desirer and there is a desired object. Like food, I desire food. How long will this desire or thought keep erupting in my mind? As long as I, the desirer, is separate from the desired food. But when the food is picked up and you become one with it, you put it in the mouth, both the desirer as well as the desired vanish. Then who remains behind? This is one example. Similarly, here it is told that you can take it as the seer and the seen, hearer and the heard, taster and the tasted, smeller and the smelt, thinker and the thought. All these where when the subject and the object merge into each other, when there is no difference between them, there is no distance between them. Here it says, then what remains thereafter? After the subject and the object merge, what remains behind is the essence, and that essence is the true me. That essence is the real me. The seer and the seen exist in relation to each other, and therefore whether the seer has seen the seen or the seen has gone into the seer, the result is the same, namely that the seer has become one with the seen. So even if I am seeing here right now, the seer is totally involved in the scene. And dusra, the example of food, where the scene has entered into the seer. Tagore has said in one of his poems that there was once a cow on a meadow and she grazed and grazed and grazed till she became the grass. So what have we become? We have grazed and grazed and grazed the world, and we have become worldly. So then what do we have to do? What is the solution?
Stop grazing.
No, you cannot stop grazing. So you graze, meaning you put your attention on the self again and again and again and again, and one day you will become the self. So only the direction of your grazing has to change. So that is what is told here. Their duality, their their separateness, their independent existence disappears. Of whom? The subject and the objects, they appear to be separate, only appear. But when they become one, the separation as if is no longer there, meaning they merge. In other words, what I said before, the distance between the subject and the object becomes a zero. Thereafter, the substratum, the reality, the essence of both is discovered to be one. The seer and the seen are expression of the same truth. Just like water alone is expressing as two waves, similarly, this pure consciousness alone is expressing as the subject and object. And when the subject and object merge into each other, then what remains behind is the pure consciousness. There is no difference thereafter. And this, thus, in this eternal game of experience, when one gets identified with something that is not existing at all, the world is understood as the reality. And this is the mistake that we are making. Today in meditation also we told, this whole world of waking and dream is nothing but a projection of the mind. So where is this whole world existing? In the mind. Another way, in its own absence. It's not there, but it appears to be so. And we are the reality, but we have superimposed that reality on the world, and we take the world to be real and then suffer thereafter. And what is the world which is not real? That which is changing. So what is changing? Is the world changing? Yes. Is the day changing? Yes. Is the year changing? Time changing? Yes. Is the space changing? Yes. Gross space, subtle space, conscious space, dream space. So continuously you are changing. It's not the same space. Is the space containing this world available in the dream? No. So space is also changing. Time is also changing. Objects are also changing. But who knows that the waking, dream and deep sleep are coming and going, but I'm not coming and going. That fellow, he's the real one. But his reality is superimposed on the world, and we take the world to be real. So what is the real world? It's the changing. Changing is not real. Wherever there is change, it's not the reality. So what is not the reality? The name and form is not the reality. The essence, which is existence, that is real. So what is existence behind name and form called wave? Water. Water is real. But the name and form called wave, that is not real. So what is name and form here? Catherine. What is name and form here? Louis. What is name and form? Bindi. What is name and form? Cat. Table. Camera stand. All this is name and form. So existence is the common denominator, but the name and form is unreal. And what we have done? We have superimposed the reality that I am, or the reality that existence is, on the name and form, but the nature of name and form is change. It is not permanent. And thus we become miserable by taking that and expecting it to continue to be the same all the time. Our mind cannot remain the same, our concepts cannot remain the same, our emotions cannot remain the same, our seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting cannot remain the same, our nears and dears cannot remain the same. Whatever we possess, whatever we feel towards someone, nothing remains the same. Everything changes. The substratum is the reality, not the continuity between one individual and the next individual trio. So the continuity of the triputi, the triad. What is the triad? Subject, object and instrument of knowledge. So what is that if we put it in words? seer, seen, seen, hearer, heard, hearing, experiencer, experienced, experiencing, knower, known, knowing, taster, tasted, tasting. At any given moment, only one thought can appear in our mind, and one after the other thought is coming, and we think that this continuous flow of one thought after another thought is continuity, but it is not continuity, it is imagined continuity. Continuity is that where there is no break. So are the thoughts continuous, or is the observer, in spite of who is other than the thoughts? And thoughts are made up of these three: seer, seen, seeing, drashta, drishya, darshana. So these three, what is continuous? Is the flow of thoughts continuous, or is the constant continuous? The constant is continuous. But what have we done? We have taken the flow of thoughts to be continuous, and that flow of thoughts, that change of body, that waking, dream, and deep sleep, that past, present, future, that whatever we can add to the list, all that we have taken to be real, and thus we suffer on account of that, because that which is changing can never give you the satisfaction, can never give you the peace and tranquility that we are searching, because that is what we are in essence. But what are we doing? We are superimposing it on something that is not real. And what is not real? That which is changing. And what is changing? The world. But the relationship between one trio and another, which gives rise to individuality, is the illusion. So this is the whole illusion. Coming and going is the illusion. So we can easily understand the outside world is coming and going, but we have to understand the thoughts are also coming and going. You have to understand the waking, dream, and deep sleep is also coming and going. Emotions are also coming and going. Concepts are also coming and going. Slowly, but they do come and go. All the trios are coming and going. And what is this? What is that? What is the nature of that which comes and goes? Yes, it is appearing in its own absence. That which appears in its own absence is called phenomena. Phenomena is equal to illusion, which appears but is not there. So this whole world is illusion. Now don't get focused on illusion and trouble yourself. I am living an illusory life. Yes, you are. You are. But rather than getting overwhelmed by the thought of illusion, we must focus on the constant principle, which is the truth. Because what can you do about illusion? Under certain circumstances, the rainbow comes. Under certain circumstances, the blueness of the sky comes. If you want a blue sky now, it will not come. You will not see a blue sky right now because it's cloudy. So expecting to get a blue sky when there is it is not possible, you cannot create it. So phenomena you are not creating, it is happening. And expecting that phenomena to remain constant, again foolishness. The experience, the experiencer, the experience and the experienced are all Paramatma. In essence, all of them are Paramatma. The subject is also the truth. The object is also the truth. The instrument of knowledge is also the truth. Everything is truth, because everything is water. Whether there is a wave or no wave, whether it's a small wave or a big wave, whether it's a tide or a tsunami, whether it is a destructive wave or a gentle wave, everything is water only, no? Wave means what? Beginning and middle. What is a thought? The subject, object, and the middle, which is the instrument of knowledge. Seer, seen, seeing, hearer, heard, hearing. All of it is nothing but the truth, nothing but the pure consciousness. Is nothing, are all Paramatma. Instead of leaving each trio as it is, When attempt is made to connect the trios to make a figure, the ghost of Jivatma is born. When we connect, if you take each thought and understand that it is complete in itself and it should not be extended further, then you are in the right space. But what happens to us? The continuity of the thoughts, one after the other. So, continuity is of the pure consciousness. But now that continuity of the pure consciousness is being superimposed on the flow. She's not going to come, don't worry. Catherine, she's not going to come and say. So that continuity is superimposed on one trio, then next trio, then next trio, then next trio, then next trio. This flow of trios is seen as a continuous flow. The truth is, one trio is complete. It comes, appears, and it disappears. Then next trio appears, then disappears. Then third trio comes, appears, and disappears. This is what your observation is also. If at all you want to see the continuity, then you should see that, oh, I was there when the trio was there. I was there when no trio was there. Then the next trio came, I was still there. Then the trio went away, I was still there. Then it is okay. But what are we doing? We are taking our continuity, the pure continuity of the pure consciousness, and superimposing it on the different, the flow of trios, and thinking that they are continuous. So the example that is taken is, if you take a sparkler and you move around in a circle, what happens? Sparkler at any given moment, if you do it slowly, first it is here, then it is on the west, then it is in the north, then it is in the east, then it is, so it is only appearing at one place at a time, correct? That is, you can do even this finger itself, if I keep going like this, it's only at one place at any given moment. But if I keep going round and round and round and round, you will see an imaginary circle from there of the, but is that imaginary circle appearing? No. It seems as if the finger is at all the places at the same time. Similarly, when we take the sparkler, we see the light, a circle of light, or the light appearing at all the points at the same time, but it's an illusion. That's the illusion. So here it is telling that the ghost, that imaginary continuity of light, that imaginary continuity of I. So I see, I hear, I touch, I feel, I think, I experience, I know, I am the waker, I am the dreamer, I am the sleeper, I am intelligent, I do sadhana, I. One thought at a time. But what are we imagining now? That this I, which appears in each thought at a time, is the same one who's appearing in the next one, is the same one in the, and we, it is true, it is the same. But we, as a thought, we see that it is a continuous one. And just as we saw that the light appeared in a circle, even though the sparklers were only one place at a time, similarly, each thought is coming, seer, seen, seeing, I hear, I see, I touch. This imaginary continuity of I in place of recognizing that I appears and then disappears. Then next I appears, then disappears. We are seeing that this I is continuous. This is called the Jivatma. This imaginary continuity is called as, with reference to object. With reference to object, it is called as individual. And it is this individual, this imaginary entity which suffers and is miserable, not the one constant. If you take each thought and the gap between two thoughts also in consideration, then you will not get stuck in the I. Thought I as continuity. You will take, then you will realize you are the witnessing consciousness who's watching the thoughts coming and going. Then there is no thought. Then there is again a thought. Then there is no thought. Then you will come to the correct principle. Correct you. But when you are looking at only the thoughts, then we come to superimpose our continuity, the real continuity of consciousness on the temporary I which is appearing and disappearing. So for that purpose, it is told that reduce your number of thoughts. For that purpose, it is told that continuously our effort should be, whether we are breathing, whether we are thinking, whether we are speaking, whatever, through our senses, through our mind, whatever activity is going on, slow it down, slow it down. And how do you slow it down? Not by stopping it, by bringing your attention to the constant principle. That's the way. The more you are identified with what is going on, the momentum will keep increasing. It will be maintained. The moment you put your attention, who is watching the momentum? I am watching the momentum. Slowly, 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 the momentum will slow down because the accelerator is not pressed. So in this way, Jnaneshwar Maharaj is trying to help the seeker to be alert in the mind without conceptualizing. So what are we conceptualizing here? Continuity of I. We are conceptualizing. What is actually taking place? One triad at a time. Look at it. So therefore, when we are told, keep your mind where your hands are. So you are asked, be in the present moment, deal with what life is presenting you, and do it without any expectation, without any doubt, without any desire. As in meditation, I said, I came here at 8:30 because the job that I have to do is talk on Amrutanubhava. Nobody comes and nobody I have to do it, and everything is happening on the Zoom, or initially you two didn't come. So I was thinking, arey yaar, unnecessarily I came all the way down and he drove from also far away. And for one moment that thought, but it doesn't matter, I do it in my room or I do it here in the lounge. Correct? Job has to be done. Why should I get distracted by someone is there or not there? I should not, isn't it? So same way. Here it is told that the name of the game, the word here used is not used here, but we can use that. It is Purushartha. Purushartha means what? You know the word Purushartha? Purushartha means to put efforts. And where do we normally put efforts? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, isn't it? Can we stop doing them? No. Then what is the Purushartha? Are we putting efforts to earn wealth? Are we putting efforts to study scriptures? Are we putting efforts to satisfy our desires? Are we putting efforts to liberate? Every now and then a thought and a urge from inside, I want to liberate. Or once you are in the class, oh, liberation is the only goal. After you go out of the class, oh, where's the coffee? It's not. So what is the effort? The Purushartha is, we cannot live without Purushartha. Well, otherwise we'll go lazy. And for a lazy man, there is no liberation. Then what have we to do? it can be, efforts can be at the body level or at the thought level or at attention level. But we must be continuously putting efforts to be attentive towards the constant principle. That is the effort. Even now, while you are sitting and listening, your attention should be on the constant principle. Shift your attention from the changing thoughts that are falling on your ears to the one who is in whose presence these thoughts are coming and going. Then we are in the then we are the seeker. He is saying that the world is not mithya, it is real, so also the experience and the experienced. He only wants us to stop there and not continue to connect one with the next and create concepts. So, what is real? The subject is real. What is real? Object is real. What is real? The instrument of knowledge is real. So, experiencer is real, experienced is real, experienced and the experience is real. So, all three are real. Then what is illusion then? Subject and object, did you create it? No. The truth, the reality by nature is appearing as subject and object, isn't it? And the instrument of knowledge. That is its nature. You did not choose to be this person. Body was created by parents. You came and the life started expressing through it. Can you remember when you started expressing through this body? No. Can you remember when you went to sleep? No. Can you remember at what moment you started dreaming? No. It's all happening. It's all happening. Just like waves are happening on the ocean, these thoughts, waves are also happening on the consciousness. But what is the material out of which they are made? Consciousness. So can we now look at the wave on the waters? If this says, wave number 1 says, I am wave number 1, then wave number 2, then wave number 3, then wave number 4. Is there a continuity between the waves? Is there a continuity between the waves?
It appears so.
What is that?
The duration.
So duration also comes and goes.
Yeah.
So how can it be continuous? But there is continuity. Because the material that has gone into wave 1 is the same material which has gone into wave 2. Yeah. Is the same material which has gone into wave 3. Is the same material in wave number n. Material is the same. But each expression of individual wave is independent of the second wave, isn't it? Second wave is independent of the third wave. And so on. Similarly, each thought wave, the triputi in our mind, is independent of the next one. This is where our attention is being brought by Jnaneshwar Maharaj. That each triputi is independent of the next triputi. And it is independent of the previous triputi also. But when we start thinking that it is continuous, that's when we are living in illusion. Then the individuality is formed. So here it is told, he only wants us to stop there. And so if you stop at one thought without connecting it to the next thought, for that you have to be very, very alert. You have to be very, very present. Then you will not say, oh, thought, the subject is illusion, object is, you will understand that they are all made up of the same material, and that material is the pure consciousness, and that pure consciousness am I. It all happens quickly because you have studied it, you have understood it, you have understood the mechanics. And the answer, this click does not come by looking at the thoughts. This click happens in spite of the thought. Thoughts are going on, but your attention is not on the thoughts. Your attention is on the constant principle, the observer, the witness, in whose presence the thoughts are coming and going. Then this click happens. Live in the present moment. Same point is coming. Live in the present moment. Then alone one is with the eternal person or presence. To live in the past or the future is to fall from the absolute glory to the relative individuality. So simple. All you have to do is come and live in the present. What is that? One thought at a time. Then what will happen? Automatically that which is your true nature will start expressing, will start revealing.
The thoughts slow down.
Automatically they will slow down, because the moment you take the witnessing position, your accelerator, you have taken your foot off the accelerator. So these thoughts of gross body, subtle body, causal body, the thoughts, waking, dream and deep sleep, it starts slowing down. And as they slow down, their impact on the I, their capacity to hijack the I, their influencing ability on the I, all this starts weakening. All you have to do is be attentive. Be attentive of this fellow. Who is this constant? Not objectively, as subjectively you have to do it. Then as this slow down, then automatically you are in the present moment. And we are not saying how slow it will become. It will not become slow. It may become initially straight away, but life till this body is there, life will go on. Till this body is there, mind will go on. Till this body is there, waking, dream, sleep will go on. Till this body is there, the hunger will come, the thirst will come, the sneeze will come, the tears will come, the emotions will come. But what is this fellow doing with all that? Just watching, rather than getting identified. Rather than saying that I am seeing, now I am hearing, now I am touching, now I am, and thinking that I am all this. No, he is only one thing at a time. And what is that? He allows seeing to take place, but he doesn't become the seer, because subject is the same, no? So let the thought I appear, but pure consciousness is not a thought, it is your being. So when we talk about subject-object, it is the thought I, the subject, laptop, the object, and I is the instrument. So it will go on. In the dream also, people are talking to each other, you are talking to other people in the dream. But the mind is not affected. Mind doesn't identify with the dream. It gives, the moment it wakes up, everything vanishes. So zero value. Catch that in the present moment. Truth has to be absolute presence. Even a trace of relative experience will destroy the absoluteness. Anything less than 100% truth cannot be but falsehood, untruth. In other words, other people will see a realized master speaking, hearing, talking, waking, dreaming, sleeping, but from the realized master's point of view, he is the infinite consciousness. He is the infinite consciousness. How? Just like when you are completely absorbed in sleep, the body is still there, the senses are still there, the hunger may be there. If you are having pain in the body before you went to sleep, once you go to sleep, the pain may be there, may not be. But the mind is experiencing it, isn't it? But what is happening in sleep? The mind is going back to the pure consciousness. So therefore, space, air, fire, water, earth, relations, possessions, body, its ailments, hunger, thirst, ability to see, hear, touch, feel, taste, all is there. but you are not available to it. Exactly the same way. The more we remain as the witness, eventually a point will come where you are all with yourself. Nothing in this world will be you are not available to it. It may be there. What others are seeing, that's their problem. What others are seeing a realized master do is their problem, their perception of him. But what is his perception? His perception is that I alone am, there is no differences in me. He doesn't see himself, oh, I am realized, and what about you? That also is not there. In the next, let the present, where are we? In the next OV, a beautiful thought is expressed that wherever and whenever the seer and the seen establish their contact, the seeing happens in which both of them dissolve their separate existence and become one pure self. This is a highly contemplative OV. Maga bhalateya bhalate tehwa माझारिले दृश्य दृष्टत्व भावा आटणी करीत येवा खेवा येती दोन्ही. Where are we? Yeti donhi. So he says, then anytime and anywhere, by reducing the relationship between the seerness and the seenness, they both embrace each other. So how do we embrace each other? Oh, Swami, we haven't seen you for a long time. And what do we do to each other? Initially, the excitement, the love of seeing each other, and then we hug each other. In that hugging, we lose the separateness, isn't it? That is what hugging is. That is what eating is. That is what seeing is. He's asking you to think a bit differently. Whenever that is in space and whenever that is in time, because these are the two conditioning, space and time, that is, in every place and every moment, the seerness and the seerness and the seenness, the experiencerness and the experiencedness, the drishtyatva bhava and drishyatva bhava and the drishtratva bhava revert back. It seems as if they withdraw and as being separate from each other and become one in being oneness alone. This withdrawal is one of the methods of meditation. The Kathopanishad describes it thus: let the wise sink his speech into the mind into the intellect into the Atman, and the great Atman into, that is the total intellect, into the Santa Atma, the Supreme Self. So, if every thought that is appearing in our mind, thought only appears as words. So every word, what is there? There is a speaker, there is a spoken, and there is a speaking going on. So what are we doing? Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. When we do the chanting, Ram, Ram, Om, Om, it is also a word. There is a chanter, there is chanted, and there is chanting going on. So what are we doing with it? We are chanting it loudly. Slowly, slowly it goes into the subtle, slowly it goes into the causal, and then it goes back to the source. Same way, you become just like gross speech, subtle speech, causal speech, and then transcendental speech, which is turiya or the reality. Similarly, Waking is the gross speech. In waking, gross speech is going on. Subtle is the subtle speech. Dream is the subtle speech. Deep sleep is the causal speech. That is no speech, but all possibilities still there. And when you go beyond it, is the transcendental state. So everything is like that only. We have to just shift our attention to see this, to see phenomena as a phenomena, and having recognized this is all phenomena, shift our attention to the constant one. This is called discrimination, to discriminate between the changing and the constant. The whole knowledge which is expressing as the knower known knowing is totally sucked in, wherein the knower known seer seen differences appear. So, what is deep sleep? It is where all the differences, all the triads are merged into one. How? They are in their seed form, they are in their unmanifest form. So unmanifest form means in the deep sleep, which is not, it's a zero mind. In that zero mind, all possibilities of uh, uh, subtle thoughts and gross thoughts is possible. But it's just not expressing, that's all. So can we do that, bring that about consciously? Can we bring that about consciously? Yes. You have to be alert towards it. When? Before going to sleep. When? After you wake up from sleep. When you are doing your japa. When? 24/7 you can be alert about it. You have to practice. This sucking in is the process in meditation. So if your attention is if you are alert about it, as you are chanting Ram, 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 very quickly the absorption will start happening. At that time, the question is, are you going to sleep or are you awake and yet allowing the mind to be absorbed? Sometimes it happens in class also that eyes are closing. It's the lecture is like a lullaby, and the eyes are closing. You are getting sucked in. All the different words are merging into one soup of consciousness. At that time, are we awake to the absorption of all the thought of the mind, or are we going into a state of ignorance which is called sleep? That choice we have. So we have to expose ourselves to that absorption of the mind again and again and again and again and again and again and again. How can we do it? By japa. How can we do it? By being in the present. How can we do it? While doing everything in the world, be attentive of the constant. This meditation is done by being very alert in every place, in every situation, to watch oneself in this trio of experiencer, experience, and experiencing, to see if one is giving undue importance to any of the three components of the trio with reference to oneself, whether one is giving too much importance to one's own experience and not to that of others, whether the attention is to all the three aspects simultaneously or not. Is your attention only on the I? Is your attention on the subject? Is your attention only on the object? Is your attention only on the, oh, I can't see clearly, what is happening to my eyes, I think there is cataract, I think I have to get it operated. Where is my attention? On the instrument. Where is my attention? More than subject and object, it's on the object has become, the instrument has become the object. See, if I becomes more important, then what happens? Ego. When object becomes more important, then what happens? Anxiety. I cannot live without him, I cannot live without her, I cannot sleep without my bed, I cannot do. You are totally dependent on the object. And you can see that in the language what people speak, where they are. If you are alert about where you are, you will recognize where other people are. This is the name of the game. What is that? What is the price we have to pay? To be alert and vigilant. Then he says, because only when the seer and seen aspects come into contact at the same time, the seeing, the experience takes place and the two disappear. So, I want to go to Japan to see Japan. So now where is my attention? First it was on I want what? To see Japan, the object. Am I in Japan? No. Is Japan in me? No. It's only an imagination at the moment, at the gross level. Yeah, am I experiencing Japan? No. So has experience of Japan come about? No. But the moment I get down in Japan, now you will not say that I want to see Japan because you are already in Japan. You understand? I desire food. The moment I desire food and the food comes in front of me and I take it into my mouth, the distance between I and the food has gone, isn't it? Just like the distance between I and Japan is gone, desire is gone. So the moment, what Swamiji is telling here is, the moment experience takes place, the subject and the object merge into one. So are we recognizing that at this moment experience of hearing is taking place? Is I the listener and Swamiji the listened to, or the sound listened to, have they become one in you? Point to be noted. Na? Have they become one? Are you feeling the completeness? Or are we focused on what is he going to say next? It's a wonderful contemplation. What's next? Are you equally comfortable if the sound is there or no sound is there coming to you? You came with a desire to this class that we want to listen to satsang. The experience of satsang is going on. In this experience of satsang, remember, if experience has taken place, subject and object must merge into each other. Is the listener and the listened to merged at this point? Or are we still maintaining our individuality? And still the speaker, the teacher, is kept separate? Think. So what is happening? This is the mistake we are making. The rule is, whenever the experience happens, when we ate food, the I and the food, the subject and the object merged. Is the subject and the object merging here when listening is taking place? Understanding is taking place? Think. as the experience of hearing is taking place, what is heard is the hearer and the heard merging into one in the experience of hearing. Think. Swamiji, we never thought like that ever before. That's why we come to the satsang. So that is the data. But we are living contrary to our data. So who is this who is living contrary to the data? The one who does not exist. Who is that? Individuality. And what are you here for? To maintain individuality or to be the absolute? To be the absolute. So correct your approach about yourself, who you are.
Swamiji, one thing, food and the taster of food, it gets merged, we understand, because that is physical. But how hearing and heard will merge?
That you have to find out. Vaikhari madhyama pashyanti para. So when you are saying Ram, 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 you are hearing yourself. Then it becomes subtle, then it goes to the throat, then it goes to the heart, then it transcends. You transcend the sound, which is merging of the hearer and the heard. The moment you lose, as long as the distance is maintained, meditative poise will not come. Sucking in will not happen. But the moment you are available, you are in tune and absolutely in the moment, you lose the difference, the space-time conditioning is over. You are there at that moment. Immediately you will get sucked in. So from gross you will go into subtle. From subtle you will go into transcendental. So we give example of this food because it is very easily expressible. But same thing is happening in every experience. You have to catch it. When I give you the example of sleep, you can catch it. When I give you the example of food, you can catch it. When you hug a small child, how beautiful baby, and you catch the baby and you want to squeeze that child close to your chest, you are removing the difference between you and him or her. Before it was you observing that kid. In that hug, you and the kid have vanished, only the experience of hugging is remaining. So is happening in every thought. So where there is seeing, the seer and the seen have merged. Where there is hearing, hearer and the heard have merged. So who is maintaining the difference? Who is maintaining the individual, the ego? It is maintaining the difference because it is not focused on the subject matter, meaning the witnessing consciousness. It is focused on the continuity of the thoughts, therefore merging is not recognized. So you have to slow down. Then you have to start thinking in light of the scriptures, in light of the words of the master. When you start, okay, if he has said that, what does it mean? Now experiment with it. You have to experiment with it. Without experimenting, you will not know. Oh, but what can I experiment? Experiment is already going on. Some experience is always taking place. Either you are seeing or you are hearing or you are teaching or you are feeling or you are imagining or you are conceptualizing or you are waking or you are dreaming or you are sleeping. Something is always going on. So some experience is always going on. Your attention should be, am I watching this experience come and go or am I becoming the experiencer? If you are becoming the experiencer, gone. If you are watching, then you will come to where The teacher is wanting us to, is taking us. They have separate existence only so long as the seer and the seen do not come together. So subject and object are only appearing as separate till they don't come together. And without coming together, experience cannot take place. Without them coming together, experience cannot take place. And experience cannot take place without them coming together. Both ways. Till then, the desire of the experiencer to experience the experienced will remain. Till then, the separation between the subject and the object, desirer and the desired, the different distance will remain. But the moment desire has been completed, example of food, immediately the subject and object vanish. In sleep, what happens? The desirer of sleep and the desired sleep, when the sleep experience happens, the desirer and the desired merge into each other, isn't it? There is no thought. Why can't you experience that no thought state right now? Because you are focused on understanding right now. Understanding is happening through thoughts. So you are giving importance to thought. You are giving importance to knowledge. You are giving importance to satsang. You should, to the satsang. But your attention, while this is going on, your attention should be on the constant principle. That is the topic that we are talking about. Once the contact between the experiencer and the object of experience is established, the desire for the experience will disappear once and for all, because in the absolute being, desire is not possible, the truth is revealed, this is one way. So if, see, this is where we go wrong. Just like if we know that the dream is only an imagination, it happens, and I do not go back to the same body, I do not go back to the same wife, I don't go back to the same house or children in the next dream. Why do we insist on going back to the same house, the same children, the same body in waking? Something is going wrong. And what is going wrong? Insistence that the continuity is real. What we have done, we have superimposed the continuity of the pure consciousness on this body. And because of this body, not only physical body, mind, intellect, and because of that continuity, then the wife is, in that mind is a thought, the children in the waking are thoughts in your mind, and you are convinced that they are real, and then that continues. The individuality is maintained. See? This is how we are doing it, disservicing ourselves and losing the plot every moment. Because in the absolute being, desire is not possible. Just like when we eat food, the desire for food goes away. When I see Japan, the desire for Japan goes away. Then why is the waking not going away? Why the experience of the world is not going away? The desire to experience the world is not going away. Why the desire to realize is not going away? Why? Think. We are falling short somewhere. Even though we are the substratum, we are the common denominator, we are the pure consciousness. But imagining we are the seekers. That seeker, and what is he seeking? The truth. Where is the truth? The seeker himself. So why the seeker and the sought are not merging when they are both the same? Something to think about. Because we are taking the thoughts to be continuous, we are taking the seeking to be continuous, we are taking the world to be continuous, but we are not taking the pure consciousness to be continuous. That's where the problem is. This is one way. Second, another way, the other is when the seer is not at all concerned with the experienced object loses its existence, the trio is no more functioning. So, when total vairagya, total vairagya, you are not at all interested in the world. This state is called udasin avastha. You are udasin, you are indifferent to the world of objects. You are indifferent to the seen, to the heard, to the tasted, to the waking world, to the dream world, to the sleep world. You are indifferent, absolutely indifferent. When you choose not to be influenced because of this indifference, this indifference has come about? Because you have realized there is no value in it. Because you have realized they are all coming and going. You have realized that by pursuing them, nothing is going to be gained. So if I don't eat food for some time, total vairagya from food, dispassion from food, I have withdrawn from eating. What will happen? After some days, you can't think. Isn't it? But here, so that udasinata will lead to silence of your mind. And in that silence, the self reveals. In that silence, the self reveals. In each case, either the experienced and the experiencer unite in the experience, where the experiencer and the experienced disappear due to the disinterestedness of the experiencer towards the object of experience. The latter loses its stamina and goes back to its own being. So when we are udasin, the second case, in the first case, the subject and object merge in the experience. In the second case, where there is disinterested indifference towards the object, when there is no object, there is absence, then how can there be a subject? There has to be an object in order for a subject. Both are coexisting. But if there is no object appearing on the screen of the mind, on the surface of the consciousness, if there is no object appearing, can the subject appear by itself? Remember, subject is always coexisting with object. Subject cannot exist as a subject independently. So if there is no object, there is no subject. Then what happens to you? When you stop being the subject, you become the eternal subject, the pure consciousness, not the individual consciousness. So these are the two ways you are given. In each case, either the experienced and the experiencer unite in the experience, where the experiencer and experience disappear, or due to the disinterestedness of the experiencer towards the object of experience, the latter loses its stamina and goes back to its own being. when the mirror is removed, the reflection goes back to where it came from, the original reflected object. If there is no object, first case, what was the first case? The subject and the object merge in the experience. If the subject and object merge, is mind possible? Is mind possible? What does mind mean?
Thoughts.
Consciousness.
Mind means duality, duality of subject and object. The moment one reality becomes subject and object, that is called mind. Same way. So now, if subject and object have merged, disappeared in the experiencing, experiencer and the experienced have merged in the experience, there is no mind. Understand? If in a mind there is you are not interested in the objects, for some time you will see blankness, you will see void, you will see emptiness. But emptiness is not an object of experience. After some time, you will realize, "Arey yaar, what am I stupid looking at nothing?" Actually, this thought should not come. But immediately, because there is no object, provided you don't make emptiness into an object, if some form, some seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, thinking, conceptualizing, any thought, if there is no object in the mind, how can the subject remain? Again, you go back to the pure consciousness that you are. Why? Because mind dissolves. Mind means subject and object duality. If there is no object, how can subject survive? And in the first case, so subject and the object is merging into the experience. So in both cases, this is happening every moment. Every moment it is happening. You have to slow down enough to catch it. And when you do slow down in your life, you allow yourself to be taken over by ignorance, which is sleep. Or you allow yourself to be taken over by death. Then also it is happening. See? So catch. When sleep comes, catch yourself. Death comes, catch yourself. Because death is a principle, it is happening every moment. Sleep is death. Death as a principle means what? The merging of the subject and the object is death. Where you are no longer as the individual. If you start thinking like this, there is nothing called death. Death is only of the phenomena, not of the real one. When the mirror is removed, meaning mind is removed. Why mind is removed? Because subject-object duality is over. In every experience, whether you take the first case of subject-object merging or the second case where you are totally indifferent to the objects, in both cases, the mind automatically dissolves. Binde. Dissolves. The reflection goes back to where it came from. So the reflected consciousness, which was appearing as the subject on account of the object, if the object is not there, how can the reflection be possible of the subject? So where will the subject, if the mirror is not there, if the water is not there, where will the reflection of the sun go? Back to the sun, where it came from. It will not go back to the water.
If the desire goes, the object disappears.
Pardon me?
If the desires slow down or eliminated, you know how we get the obsessed with desires.
Yes.
So if we don't concentrate on those desires, they will melt away.
You cannot think of the desire is always of something.
Yes.
That object has to be what you call. You have to become less influenced by the object.
Yeah. So they won't go
And-
away of their own accord.
They will not go by their own accord. If you think of a desire, more desires will come. So you have given value to the satsang,
Yeah.
so you had a desire to come to the satsang.
Uh-huh.
See? So you gave value,
Yeah.
so you have to devalue it. I'm just giving, don't devalue satsang, but the principle you understand. So, okay, you have come here to the satsang, now you are having a desire. If I stop and become quiet for next 2-3 minutes, you'll say, why did I come here for sitting in silence? I could have sat in silence at home also.
Oh dear.
But where is my attention? Is my attention on the teacher speaking, or is my attention on the consciousness that I am, which was illuminating the sound of the teacher and the silence also? Then you are in the right place. Then you are in the right place. But if I have a desire that I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to listen to this, now I have to do that, I have to do some practices, I have to realize myself, then it's an endless march of the thoughts.
That's right.
That has to stop. That has to stop by recognizing these two options. That every thought is completing and going back to the source the moment desire is fulfilled. Or the subject-object come together, they go back to the original. And the second option, when we become disinterested in something, then also, if there is no object being entertained in my mind, like in sleep, there is no object, then where has the subject gone? Back to the source, which is pure consciousness. Because subject, remember the rule, subject and object is possible only in the mind. That pure consciousness is called mind when it divides itself into subject and object. Mind alone is subject-object duality. You cannot have a mind without subject and object. So in deep sleep, there is no subject and object. Isn't it? So you can't think of these examples from the worldly point of view. You have to come out of the box of your daily regular thinking and look at it from the angle that is being presented. The first type of meditation means complete and intense involvement in the experience. So that is why we are told, if you are eating food, eat. Don't watch TV or your YouTube. So you are eating also, you are watching YouTube also, or talking also. No. If you are eating, be 100%. The fingers are going into the food, picking up the food touching the tongue, the attention is on the taste that is going, completely merge into the experience. The experiencer and the experienced will vanish because you are one with the food, with the experience of food. Same thing here right now. So that is the first meditation. So when we are living every moment of our life with full alertness, your teacher says, With means complete and intense involvement in the experience, so that the two disappear. Who are the two? Subject and object disappears. To be 100% involved in the present is joy. This is what it is. When you are living 100% without thinking of the past, without thinking of the future, without thinking of what I'm going to get in return, without thinking, no, just this is what has come in front of me, I have to deal with it.
Live in the present.
Live in the utter present.
No thoughts
Not,
of the past.
not present means the day. No, right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Otherwise, what happens? Swamiji, the satsang was very beautiful. One day I came and the effect of the vibration of the satsang lingered for 3 days. Where are we living?
In the past.
In the past.
Yes.
You understand? We are all guilty of that statement, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we are we are living in the memory of the satsang. We are not living in the present moment. Truth is not a memory. Pure consciousness is not a memory. You are not a memory. You are. Therefore, Lord Krishna says, what does he say? He who gains joy at the time of doing the work, he enters the Brahma Karma Samadhi. So, see, when we go to Kailash, we are enjoying the walk. I'm giving the lecture. I'm enjoying while complete joy is there. You don't feel I'm disinterested. You don't feel that I'm distracted. I'm complete at one ment with the topic that is going on right now. And that one ment is not on account of the words. Words are only the triggers. My attention is on what that trigger is indicating. See? Then you are in the absolute present. So when we are in the absolute present, even while speaking, then the speaker and the spoken to are vanished. Subject and object has vanished. Then what remains? Only speaking remains. So then I am not speaking and there is no spoken to, only speaking is going on. Bliss. That's why you never get tired of talking. It's loud contemplation. And it's not that a whole day we are talking. It's only when once a day, either on Zoom or here, we have the satsang. Rest of the time, what is happening? Either we are doing japa, or we are in silence, or we are at work. Whatever is working, job has to be done. But do it 100%. Don't do it mechanically. We'll conclude here. How the drishyas, the scene, and the drishtatva and the seer slowly withdraw and the truth is revealed is explained by a few examples in the next 3 OVAs. So examples will be taken. Let's see that in our next class. So enjoy the Sunday. If any one of you wants to come home, only 3 more weeks to 11 Walsley Avenue, Glen Waverley. You can come in the morning at 8:30 to this time. Yeah. So this is happening at the request of Catherine and Louis and Colin, but Colin didn't turn up.
I have a word with him.
Yes, take him to task. So if anyone wants to come, more than welcome. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Just sit quietly for a moment.